What's up, YouTube? Triton Carbide, bringing you some domination action on Hijacked. I was actually going for the gold MSMC here, so I have no attachments and no perks. I just like to rip both of them off at the same time, just like a band-aid. So, there's been a lot of drama in the news lately involving Manti. For those who don't know, he plays football for Notre Dame. He's a linebacker for them. And for international viewers, I'm not talking about soccer, I'm talking about American football. And Notre Dame is a university. University for us is a little different than you. You generally go to it between the ages of 18 and 22 for a higher education to specialize in something. So, Manti plays football for Notre Dame, and he's generally considered a stud. He's one of the captains on the team. Notre Dame was ranked #1 at the end of the regular season and played recently for the College Football National Championship. Now, they got smoked by Alabama, but he is projected to be a first-round draft pick this April to go to the NFL, which will make him an instant millionaire. During the whole season, he was a bigger deal than just a football player. He was an inspiration for a lot of people for playing through adversity, for overcoming that adversity, taking a good step forward. On September 12th, his grandmother, who was 72 at the time, and who he was very close to, passed away. He had a girlfriend at the time that only 6 hours later, he learned passed away from leukemia. Pretty terrible things all happening within a stretch of 6 hours. Because of this, he did multiple radio, magazine, TV interviews discussing how he was overcoming this adversity, how he was dealing with both of his tragic losses, and that his girlfriend and grandmother would really just want him to continue to play to be the best that he can. The next day, he played a game against Michigan State. Afterwards, during a press conference, he said, "My family and my girlfriend's family have received so much love and support from the Notre Dame family. Michigan State fans showed some love. And it goes to show that people understand that football is just a game, and it's the game that we play, and we have fun doing it. But at the end of the day, what matters is people who are around you, and family. I appreciate all the love and support that everybody's giving my family and my girlfriend's family." Well, apparently, this is a giant hoax. And that sounds pretty terrible, because it's going to be played out in one of two ways. Either Manti is completely to blame here, or he generally had no idea and he was the victim of a pretty bad and elaborate hoax. So Deadspin.com. Deadspin.com is basically a sports website. It's kind of the TMZ of the sports world. They basically report sporting news, rumors, and Deadspin.com can't find any record of his girlfriend, whose name is Linnea Kakua. She's Polynesian. I completely apologize if I just butchered that. Ever existed. They can't find a birth certificate. They can't find a death certificate. They can't find any information on this girl whatsoever. So that's clearly a little bit odd. Makes you scratch your head and say, how could that ever happen? Well, on December 26th, Manti and his parents were informed that they were the victims of a cruel prank, and that his girlfriend never existed. While Manti was at an award show hosted by ESPN, he got a phone call, looked at the number, realized that number kind of looks a little familiar. Well, he got a call from his dead girlfriend, Linnea. Clearly, it's a little bit eerie. She told him that she was not dead. He was obviously shaken up just a little by this, as pretty much anybody would be. If you think your loved one passed away, then all of a sudden they call you and say, "Oh, by the way, I'm not dead." It's gonna creep you out just a tad. Now, if you're not familiar with the story, you're probably wondering, how can someone not know their girlfriend is dead? You would generally think if someone has leukemia, that you're going to go see them in the hospital. They're going to talk about treatments, everything like that. How does one day just, oh, they're dead, and you don't see them and you have no idea or can confirm that they're dead? One would think there would be a funeral, no? And you would go to that funeral considering she would be a loved one. Now, here's where the story gets a little bit fuzzy and dicey. He allegedly met this girl when Notre Dame went out to play Stanford. I believe it was in 2009. After the game, they met and exchanged phone numbers and kept in touch. They formed a friendship online, which later blossomed into a normal relationship. Now, I say normal relationship loosely. A lot of people just go ahead and assume, oh, they hung out, they went to movies, they went to dinner, everything like that. But as technology grows, an online relationship really isn't that awkward anymore. They apparently just had an online-only relationship. That's why I love tech inserts, and that's why I don't use them. Unless they were just boosting there. So anyway, so they had this online relationship. They apparently exchanged messages a lot on Facebook, on Twitter, cell phones, everything like that. Pretty much how an online relationship would pretty much exist to this day. Now the thing is, Stanford has no record of a Linnea Kakua. Doesn't exist, never went to Stanford. Okay, there's only one known picture of Linnea, and according to Deadspin, some classmates did contact them and say, hey, listen, we recognize this girl, which would show that she exists, right? Well, the picture, now I'm going to butcher this other name here, the picture, according to this girl's classmates, they know her as Renona Tisipospo, something like that. Again, I think it's Tongan or something like that, Samoan. Butchered the name, apologize. So anyway, the only known picture of this Linnea girl is apparently someone else. Now, if you remember, on December 26th is when Manti got the phone call. Well, on December 27th and 28th, he told Notre Dame officials and athletic director what just happened to him. He basically went in there and said, listen, I got a phone call from my dead girlfriend, and she let me know that this is all an apparent hoax. And he basically did that because, like I said, there were magazine interviews, there were TV interviews, and everything of him saying, my girlfriend died, I'm distraught by this, I'm overcoming all this adversity by that terrible day when I found out my grandmother and my girlfriend both died. So they were in this pretty deep. It's not like they literally just found out about this. So they had to do something. They needed to know what they were going to do, so they formulated a plan of action. And what they did, they hired an independent investigation firm to find out what's going on in this case. I don't think any results have come of it yet. But according to Deadspin, a close source to Manti said that he was about 80% sure he did this entire thing for publicity. Meaning, he just got some picture and made this whole story up. Completely duped all of America. Which, pretty damn stupid. So, now Notre Dame knew he was part of a hoax. They just didn't know, was the joke on him, or is the joke on literally everybody else? So on January 3rd, days before the national championship game, Manti still acknowledged his dead girlfriend. He was saying everything was going on, like, she's dead, I'm doing this season for her, I dedicate this season for her. Everything like that. No mention of a hoax whatsoever. Well, this last Wednesday afternoon, he issued another statement. He said, this is incredibly embarrassing to talk about, but over an extended period of time, I developed an emotional relationship with a woman I met online. We maintained what I thought to be a true, authentic relationship by communicating frequently online and on the phone, and I grew to care deeply about her. To realize that I was the victim of someone's apparent sick joke and constant lies is painful and humiliating. So again, he gets up in front of the public and talks about this. Now, if he's genuinely telling the truth and if he was the victim, I kind of feel for the guy. That really freaking blows. And I think a lot of it, if this is the case, if it is true, it's kind of a little blown out of proportion because maybe just a lot of people generally don't understand what an online relationship might be. It's kind of new to people, well, maybe like 35 and older. They just might not understand. But something else that was really odd is Manti's father said how Linnea would come to Hawaii, how they would hang out, and he's absolutely sure that they have actually met in real life multiple times. Well, stories aren't matching up here. And for what his father said, kind of makes me and a lot of other people believe that this is all made up so he can get publicity, so NFL scouts notice him, so he can ultimately make more money in the NFL. So did this actually happen? Did he just make this all up to be in the spotlight? If he did, it worked. I don't think it even would have mattered, though. He's still projected to get picked 8th in the NFL draft, giving him easily a 7-figure signing bonus and a 7-figure contract he would be set for life. I don't think he needed this. Interesting story I wanted to share with you guys. Thanks. See ya.